How's it going, everyone? Going to do a quick review. Got a weekly close. Here's a dollar. The dollar opening today doesn't look good at all. It's a daily chart. It's breaking previous lows. Weekly close, closing on its lows or near its lows, and then opening up, breaking last week's low right off the bat. I'm looking for an exhaustion move, something to knock out a bottom somehow. It's pretty much gone straight down. Doesn't look good. This is my measured move from the head and shoulders top. So looks like the measured move's almost in, matching up from previous lows somewhere in here. Looking for an exhaustion move on the way down, knocking out the measured move. Let's see what happens. S&P closing on its highs. On a daily, though, you can see a 3-bar pattern working. So on the weekly open tomorrow, look for a double top and something that could bring it back in, because the daily looks like it turned over a little bit. 3-bar pattern. I got support at the 8.13 all the way down. I'm looking for a left shoulder head, right shoulder, and then come on down, head and shoulders top. See how that works out. Weekly closing on its highs, though. Look for a double top to come in. VIX can't go any lower than that, I don't think. Inverted hammer on the daily. It's just pretty low. See if we can't get a bounce on the VIX this week. Dow Jones, same thing. Looks like I got a double top already working on a lower high double top. I got a hammer, or is it going to break previous lows and break down, making that a hanging man? I got left shoulder, head, maybe a right shoulder come in. Look for a head and shoulders top somewhere. Check this out. NASDAQ looks like it wants to come into support a little bit. Weekly close broke previous highs. So as long as it holds previous highs this next week, it might as well just keep on going. It's a nice little come back into support, consolidation, and then the pop closing above previous highs on the weekly. Little rounded top on the daily, though. See how that works out. Crude looks like got rejected by the 34 on the daily. Little whipsaw came back into support. The pattern's still holding. That could be a bearish flag, so watch out below. Look for any kind of rejection, previous low breaks. I do have a reverse head and shoulders here, so maybe this right shoulder's not through yet. Maybe it'll come all the way back in. But it's holding the pattern. After the rejection, it looks like it may be a bearish flag into resistance. Getting rejected now. Let's see. It's got to get above that 34. Gold. I thought gold was going to come back into support after the 34 when it hit the 34 here. But it did a little head shake and then kept on going up. Right now, I think it's breaking out on the 60-minute chart, breaking previous highs. So that's good. Good, good, good. So I've got hang on a second. Excuse me. So I had this little bottom, right? Came across, came back in, came across. Thought it was going to come back in. Did not. Broke previous highs, held the previous high break. And so now we got a downward trend line coming in. And it looks to me like a in the pattern reverse head and shoulders. So look for anything outside 1280 was that magic number. There it is again, 1280. We've got to close above 1280 on the week. But I suspect it's going to come into resistance, come back into support, and then try again. If it has enough volume, it's going to break right on through. It looks like I got it inside the pattern, reverse head and shoulders. Let's see what kind of week we can get. Silver, it looks like silver, that was still the low. The fat finger. More like the bankers getting their last dip. I'm looking for an opposing point to find trend. Hopefully we can hit that 34 before it does that. So I'm looking 50 more cents before it decides to come back in for support. It needs to get a little bit stronger on volume too, because you can see the 813 crossing over that 34 on the weekly. Price needs to get above that 34 again. Let's see how we're doing on the intraday. Looks like we're going to have a flat top break coming right off the bat Sunday evening. Silver looks good for the week. Hopefully it hits that 34 on the daily before it wants to come back in. When it comes back in, make sure we hold support. If support doesn't hold, watch out below. It could just fall over on us. Need some good volume days. Closing above the 8 so far. Hopefully maybe a pop across the 34 back into support. Look for a rejection at the 34 or the pop above the 34. If we can get the pop above the 34, we can maybe hit the other side of the trend line there. Come back into support for a bullish retracement. Gather our legs, try again. 1850 is the mark. If we start getting above 1850, we can start taking out previous highs. Still waiting. I'm going to buy some more silver coming up here. Not a lot. I'm going to wait for that opposing point, see if that where it comes in. Copper, look for a flat top break on copper. It's a nice little consolidation pattern over the 34. Hitting resistance, hitting resistance, hitting resistance, pop, pop, pop. You had a good volume day. Got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, kind of crude, but it works. We got resistance. It's coiled it's all coiled up, ready to break into previous lows. Let's see if we can get to $3. That would be sweet. Copper. Looks like GDX broke the 34 on the daily. It's good, 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 good. Coming into resistance on the weekly. Closing above the 8, 2-bar pattern, gapped and kept going last week. Pretty good. GDXJ, same thing. See if we can crack that 34. 2-bar pattern on the weekly. See if we can get a continuation this week. It's pretty tight in that little triangle. Looks like some good moves coming. JNUG, I'm not sure about JNUG still, but I think I saw it at 20 at some time. No, that wasn't 20. Nice 2-bar pattern right over resistance. Didn't have a chance to come back in, I don't think. So look for weakness to come back in, or else watch previous highs back into resistance. Looks like 20 is the mark. Break above 20 could get a nice run into the 34 on the weekly. Be nice to see JNUGs getting some moves back. The 2-bar pattern on Nugget into resistance and see where it goes. Gapped into resistance. Let's see if we can get a gap outside that pattern into the natural course to return that 34 on the upside. Looks like some good moves on mining. If you show any weakness, let it come into support, buy the support, sell the resistance. Gold silver ratio, where are we at? We got stalled. There we go. Gold silver ratio, 79.80 was the mark. Looks like a nice little U coming in. Maybe we can get another nice little punch into the previous high. 83. I'm looking for silver to make a pullback. Tahoe still hasn't recovered. I don't know. Tank that one. It's going to be a while for that to recover. USLV. Weekly charts on these. Nice reversal on the bottom there. Back above support. That's good. Still got to get above that 8 though. Could be a bearish retracement back into resistance. Equimani looks like it came off the bottom, bouncing right off of that 34. Need a little bit more gusto above the 8 and 13 so we can get it on the other side of that pattern. Cliffs looks like it had a nice run. It's coming back into support. Looks like a falling star almost. AG, nice. Look for a continuation. The pattern's getting really tight. I wonder when it's going to break. AG is one of those ones that didn't come down for a couple legs. It went sideways in consolidation inside this pattern the whole time. It's been a long time inside that pattern. Let's see what happens. The AG, watch AG on the outside. That's going to be a nice one. It's certainly a consolidation pattern right there. Get some power outside of that thing. The bigger the pattern, that's I think a year pattern, right? Let's see, we started this pattern in October 2016. It's got a few more months for a year, but pretty tight in that little triangle. Went through support, broke back above resistance. It's at resistance now on the weekly, so it's got to pick up the pace. But it's a nice 2-bar pattern. Hopefully momentum will carry. NAK is back and forth, back and forth. Looks like the line of support's pretty weak though. Flat bottom descending. Maybe a previous low break. Watch out below. It might knock this back into the dirt. It's got to do some kind of reversal though. Volume's low. Hit resistance, got rejected, back and forth, back and forth. Looks like it's at support still. 3-bar pattern on the daily. Into resistance, back into support. Let's see what happens. Reverse head and shoulders as well. Flat bottom though. Flat bottoms usually crack down. Let's see what we got. Previous low breaks or previous high breaks. It's like cat bounce. I got a 2-bar pattern bounce into resistance. So watch for the lower high. URA is coming back into support for a bullish retracement on that daily. Got rejected on the 34 on the weekly. Looks like it's got momentum to carry across the 34. UEC, I'm thinking maybe come back into support. Otherwise, it needs to crack that previous high. It's got to do it in a timely fashion. Otherwise, it'll just fall on over. And there's looks like a little weakness at the top there on the daily. Outside day. Broke previous, broke the 8, closed below the 8. You can see this whole rise in here. Nothing closed below the 8 until Friday. So look for come back into support. Otherwise, it's got to do a complete reversal in a timely fashion. URRE came back into support as well. Broke across the 34, back into support. That's the best buy. Best buy at support. Let's do a little Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a tremendous run, knocking out the Head and Shoulders top. Here's the Head and Shoulders top. And then it broke down, and then total reversal. Broke above the shoulder line there, the 2 shoulders. Made a lower high, so I'm still skeptical. Just a slight lower high. So I'm looking for any kind of support lines just to be really weak. And I'm thinking it did this huge move because no one's a seller. No one's selling their Bitcoin. They're keeping it for the long haul. There's some traders out there, but I'm thinking that 3-bar pattern, pretty bullish, broke previous highs here. Bam. Back and forth, back and forth. It's a high-level consolidation on the back end. Didn't even come back into support. 2-bar pattern. I'm thinking we're going to make a huge, giant pattern up here and then break out. It's not ready yet. The V bottoms don't work. Remember that. I need an opposing point for this weekly chart. Most certainly, if it wants to, it can just break and then come back into support. But usually it comes into resistance, makes that opposing point, makes a pattern, completes the pattern, bam. Let's see Ethereum on a close. Let's see if we got a 2-bar reversal on Ethereum. I got a double bottom on Ethereum. We're still carrying a 2-bar pattern above, falling over. I'm thinking it's going to come back in a little bit more. It definitely bounced and hit resistance and backed off. Got rejected. Double bottom, watch for the double bottom to break down, coming back into previous highs. And if it breaks previous highs, watch it come into the range and smack that 34. But the only thing I'm showing on a long-term chart is the double bottom. So watch out below if it breaks that. It looks like momentum is going to carry downward because it popped and got rejected. Unless it wants to build. Looks like daily wants to pop. Daily looks good for a pop on Ethereum. We got a 3-bar pattern, or tri-tips here. 3 legs pointing down. That means the bottom. They've got a nice J curve. Watch for a pop. Long term though, watch for that double bottom to break down. Make sure support holds. Litecoin's at support. I like the 4-hour chart on Litecoin. Litecoin, nice J curve. It's coming in. I got inverted hammers over support. Inverted hammer, inverted hammer, inverted. I got 3 inverted hammers. Watch for previous high breaks. Buy into support. I got higher lows. It's going to pop. And its natural course return is all the way up 17 or so. It's a 4-hour chart. Daily, it's got to hold support. Daily looks bad as far as it broke down the double top there. It's got to take out that top. 21. See if we can't get back up in there from a J curve break all the way back up into 21. It's got to take out that top. Dash didn't do too well when Bitcoin took a jump. Kind of broke down on us. Still building. Weekly has support. Watch for previous high breaks. I thought it was going to break last week. It's gathering its legs. Try again. BCN. I am actually waiting for BCN right now to break out. It is coming into a bottom. Got a nice pattern working at the pop here, 3-bar pattern, and then the consolidation. I had this 2-bar pattern and then tried one more time, held support, previous high breaks. It's trying. I got resistance at 8. Hopefully I can get to 10. But this is a nice little pattern working on BCN. I'm in it right now. Apple did not reach to the top there. So we got another lower high, double top working. I got a lower high. I got bullish piercing pattern on the close on Friday for Google. Looks like Google's going to take a leg up. Let's see what Apple did on the weekly close. Apple's got resistance. Google's got blue skies, it looks like, coming in. Google closed above resistance. Watch for previous high breaks or previous low breakdowns. See how gold and silver are doing on the way out here. See that 60-minute chart again. Looks like we got a breakout on gold. And silver's still trying. So it looks like gold's off and running Sunday evening. So look for the miners to gap maybe. Could be nice. Silver's still struggling to break that previous top. But that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and let's see what happens. Let me know what's going on out there. I'll see ya.